More. So yesterday I went and tried to clean up my JS Fiddle where I had been playing with various layout options. In particular, I got the middle bidding board, a prototype of it anyway, and redid the layout using Grid and Flexbox, which is the first time I've ever used them. And I must say that I am in fact in love, particularly with Grid, because once you understand how to lay out the grid, CSS just starts to make sense again. Because that's always been a big issue for me. I've always avoided trying to do any HTML and CSS work because I loathe it so much. But I can handle Grid. I learned Bootstrap and I can do Bootstrap, but I don't need to do Bootstrap anymore. You can do a lot more with CSS Grid and CSS Flexbox, which I am using a little bit here. I don't exactly understand what it does sometimes, but it still makes more sense to me than, say, like inline block, which is just annoying to use. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to add the other three boards, and then try to add this central widget, which will let us actually do bidding. So let us begin. I ended up yesterday just with the north board. I am going to go ahead and I think update the CSS because I did in fact change some of it. Yep, we are now gridded out of our minds, which means we're going to have to, I guess, lay out the parent container as well. You can see here this is all absolutely positioned. Not particularly what I want, so I guess we can start with that. We'll go ahead and create a new top level component, and we'll call it the playboard. It will be what will have the entire game in it. And let's go ahead and start up some music too, because I like to listen to music while I code. There we go, a little bit of Metroid. All right. All right, time to get our cheat out. I just now decided that I'm going to match case on my CSS files. think that is really all I need. It's just a board at the top. Yes, it is. Okay. So now we can just start adding our north board. Alright, so now we can start playing with this. Still positioned absolutely. Alright, so now it's just taking up all the space at the top. But it'll collapse in once we start adding some side components. Oh yeah, there's another thing I wanted to do too, and that is in North Play. Perfect. I like it. Oh, it's a little loud. Alright, so let's add the other boards. See what happens. Probably could collapse these all down into one component, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. You can see this is basically the exact same thing. In fact, we're going to just take out west. It'll make it easier to copy and paste it some more. Yes! Make it easy to copy and paste our code. And I've just now decided I will case this stuff. So let us do that. Here's the title first. Okay. And our West CSS. We don't need to save that. We don't need to save that either. Alright, yeah, we'll just copy what we have. Okay, and then we're also going to add west both to our index. As well as we'll make a selector for it. And I think that might be, we can go here. That looks less than ideal. Invalid DOM property. So just one of the fun parts of copying HTML into React. Alright, where is this class name coming from? At playboard div. So the whole dealio with these is that all the properties of an object have to be named their JavaScript component. Like the properties on an HTML element in JavaScript is the name for all the properties in React. So you don't use the HTML names, you use the JavaScript names. Alright, we're still not working though. Oh, div class capital W West. That is not going to work. That is definitely not going to work. Alright, see if it's any better. Okay, well, we've got a West board. I bet we have to add cards now. I was certainly hoping that this would be bigger, but alas. Let's just check any other. I'm not seeing any other capital W's that I feel like need to be fixed. Okay, so now what we'll do is in our actions we'll start adding the ability to add West cards. Could be something to be said, just have a generic add and remove command that takes like as a parameter both the direction and the card. Wait till we actually are using that. Alright, so far so good. This is just for testing mainly. Oh yeah, well, you know, also have to add the corresponding reducer. Okay, not. So I think it's just because it has so much. No. It added them to both. Because of that. Perfect. Still, I'm not entirely convinced. Yeah, that is not going in the right way. Absolutely not. Okay, see if we can figure out why. West. So that's just defining the two columns of the title and the playboard. The title is up and down. Oh, they will pop over if there's enough room, but it's not lining up like that. So let's see, west. I do have this column business going on here. That might be something. West title column label. West title column label. Play column and then card. Place right. This is why. So we want to do place down, which I defined in card CSS. How did I define that? East. West. I'm just using ease, just margin top. Okay, it's different. Okay, now if it's thin enough, then it stacks right. And the problem is that it is too wide. I almost feel like I need to fix this because, you know, I kind of noticed I'm having a similar problem here. Or if it gets wide enough, they start going into multiple columns. And that is absolutely not what I want. So what I think I'm going to try and do is see if I can live do some HTML and CSS. Oh no. Okay, so West Play is going to be a display flex and a flex direction of column. Maybe? Oh my gosh, it worked. I'm a CSS master. CSS master confirmed. Okay, so we're still not getting our grid, actually. And that is because we never imported the CSS. Ooh. Okay. So we do have some minimum size here. Oh, that looks silly. So, but I think we can at least keep it from being too silly by coming here and just kind of doing some of the same thing. Display flex. Flex direction row. There we go. I like it. Okay. And then also to west. Let's also do the align self. I think I like that one. All right. All right. Well, that wasn't too bad. So let's go ahead and try and do east now. It's going to be most like west, so I'll copy it. Yeah, I think I'll just start with what's in here. One sec. Alright, we're back. Okay, so we have a new board. I don't really like where you decided to go, dude. Alright, let's go ahead and add the actions to add more cards. Might as well go all the way, since we kind of know where this is going. You're just hitting a long run of Don't Starve Together music. Okay, now why are you up here? I don't want you up here. Actually, this one I want up here. This one is actually okay. This is too low. I didn't think it would matter what order these were in. Apparently it does. That's fine. Totally fine. Alright, let's get the south board up. It's going to be more closely like north. Nauf. Nauf. Okay. South play, title, label, CSS. Place right. I think that's all okay. Let's go find our CSS. Slightly confused. This is originally just one giant Don't Starve Together mashup. We're going to go ahead and skip on past that. And it's just crazy that we're landing into so many. Oh, wait, well, actually, I kind of like this one. Alright, where were we? South board is not defined. Well, now we're better. Okay, so I think we need to get a playboard in the middle in order to push this guy down. But I think we're pretty close. In fact, if I just go to app.js, we'll add one south card. Boom. Alright, yeah, and then once we get something here in the middle, it'll push that bad boy down. But this should be the other way around. So for... we have to flip these guys around. Perfect-ish. Perfect-ish. Alright. I'm almost... I have a feeling like I should probably start saving some of this stuff. I don't know about manifest JSON. Okay, we can have that. That's fine. I'll allow it. There. This is just so in case I need to go back in time. You know, it can be handy. All right. Where are we now? Now we need to make a new module. We're going to call this the bidding. Not a new file, new folder. And I kind of want to rename this from boards to hands, because that's honestly what it is. The board is everything. You know what? No, do it sooner rather than later. So yeah, nothing in there should matter. But then that will matter. And that will matter. Okay, I like. Alright, if that all worked well. End up with the exact same thing. C'est bon. I'm gonna drink some coffee to celebrate. Okay, so next up. Next up is the bidding box. This one was a little more involved. And should all be up here at the top. Board bidding. I'm sure this is gonna be fun. This will be fun. Come on. Come on. Almost got it. This is like an invisible, unselectable area. Why? Why would you do such a thing to me? Seriously. Not cool. Okay, so the way I organize my React views, and there's no one way to organize React views. A component is... Alright, so a container is a React view that's linked to the store. It's bound to the store through React Redux Connect. So we'll take a look at that here. So we're using Connect from React Redux, and we're mapping the state, our application state, to the properties of the component. But just because I like to keep this focused on the bindings between the app state and the component, I don't do any view stuff in here. So I'm pulling the actual React view from a component. A component then is something, a React view that doesn't know anything about the app state. It just has properties, it takes those properties, it renders the properties. Usually you can make these be stateless functions. A stateless function React component is a React component that accepts properties, returns React. So this doesn't know anything about the app state, so it could be used elsewhere. But I keep this sort of React code out of my containers where I'm binding to the store, just because I kind of like that separation. It's not required to do this. It's perfectly possible, reasonable, and lots of people do it, to just define your component right here and have your whole React view here as well. Sometimes it even makes sense, and if you're like making changes to that interface, it can make that easier. But I think that having it separated, it makes this component easier to test because you don't have this in front of it. This is something you can easily wrap your head around in terms of testing, because you were just exporting a function that takes inputs and returns back React code. And it doesn't have like this whole store bindings in front of it. So testing code can be easier. So that's why I separate them out. Okay, so we're going to call this the bidding board. We just don't need all this right now. So these things will always be here. So I'm going to break this down a little bit more. So we're going to have our bidding board. And breaking it down will vastly simplify the interface to this class. So we'll have the... Okay, we're already in the bidding component, so I really don't like repeating myself. So we're just going to call this board.js. We're going to call this next one log.js. And then we'll also have a input.js. Yes. that valid? Alrighty then. Try again. Alright, so log is going to look something like this. And it's going to have children. And those children are going to appear after the titles. So in React, the properties children is all of the elements that you put inside of a component if you nest them in. So this component will wrap the children with this HTML around it. And we'll switch to the JavaScript property name. We're going to need some CSS here. Yeah. Let's see if we have something we can steal for that. No, here. Here we go. We do. We need all these. I need all three of these. Perfect. Okay, so here we're using a grid. 4 columns, rows. The first one is 30 pixels for the header, and then everyone after that is 20 pixels. Defining some gaps between the rows. And then we're also going to let scroll too. Now here's the tricky part for this one, is that I think I'm going to need to increase the height of the log as more items are added. So I don't want it to like throw up a scroll bar. Usually you're not going to see the scroll bar if it's just like really simple bidding. I don't want it always to be there. So I think I tried to pick a value that was, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to muck with that a little bit, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So we have the log. We have log.css. Let's take a look at input. Let's go ahead and create our input.css as well to go with it. Move that over here. And we'll go ahead and import it. And now let's take a look at what we have for the input. I should actually have that already here. Board.js. It is literally the simplest thing in the world. Then again, though, we're going to have children. This is really the whole point of this component, is to wrap a div with a class around some children. Oh yeah. Super duper advanced. And then we'll need the board input CSS. And board bidding log entry, board input. And we'll just go ahead and take both of these as well. Good, good, good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This might end up somewhere else I might make another component just to wrap the input. In fact, I am very certain I will. But we'll put it there for now. Board input, children, class name. Okay, so now for our board.js, I'm almost feeling like we're almost doing the exact same thing that we did the other places, where we're just gonna have children. We're just doing, you know, these components now at this point are almost entirely unnecessary, because I think I've boiled them. I mean, the log.js was the only one that had any extra styling, but we'll leave it here. Maybe we decide to add extra styling, and we'll have a place to do it. I mean, everything's going to be broken down logically. We'll go ahead and add our CSS that we have yet to create. Let's go find some CSS. I don't know the best place to put this guy, so we'll just stick it there. And then we need board bidding. Okay. All right. Now we can have naming is so hard. We're already in bidding. Yeah, we're just gonna call it board. And we're obviously going to need to import board from components board. We're going to need the input from components input, and we'll need log from components log. Top that off. We're going to need connect eventually. I don't think we're actually going to be using it from. Oh, you know what? Okay, wait. What I actually need now are the connected components for these individual ones. Let's ignore this for now. Let's make another one. Let's do log.
A new way to pay. It can send money fast to Ray.
Alright, import log from components log. Import connect from.
The new way to send money from your banking app. Zelle. This is how money moves.
Oh man. Ads. SoundCloud, you're killing me. Yay. Much better. Okay. So, we've got a little bit more work to do here in bidding. We've got to do all the React Redux boilerplate. Actions. Action types. Reducer. Selectors. and an index to define the module. Alright, starting with action types. What are the things that we're going to do for bidding? We are going to do place bid. Is there really anything else? Do I want to break this up into north, south, east, west? I think not. I didn't really like doing that for adding cards, so let's try not doing it, and we'll see where that leads. Let's see what it leads. So yeah, I think for now, all I want to be able to do is place a bid. And we'll have more actions here, like there'll be more actions here, like you know, start bidding, end bidding. But I think for now, really, it's just we want to be able to place a bid. So yeah, so just really one action. And so let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, so actions. Yeah, honestly. Whatever, you know what? It can just be a string. We can figure it out. It's just gonna be like one hearts, one NT. Alright, so for the function, we're gonna return, and I'm just assuming that that is right. Yep, place bid. So this is just convention that for Redux dispatches, they have a type and a payload. The type is the action that you're dispatching. The payload is all the information about that action. It's just convention. You don't have to do this, but this is kind of what almost everyone does. So no reason to deviate. So yeah, placing bid. I think that's literally the only thing we're trying to do right now. So for our reducer, well, I will sneak a look at our other reducer just to make sure I'm doing it right. Friend. And import our handy dandy create reducer. This it just lets me write my reducers the way I like to write them. My reducers are not necessarily like how most people do them, even though this style certainly was in vogue for a little while. Let's see. So our default state for bidding is going to be bids. There will be bids, and we will record the bids. Yes. I think that is what we will do. Starting bid. It'll just always be north. And we'll let that, I don't know. I don't even know if we'll need that, but I'm putting it in there. Bidding. Payload, direction, bid. Okay. Return, bidding, bids. Bidding dot bids concat. Okay. Not sure. Not sure what to do next. So we'll just work on the index. Okay. Going to take a potty break. We'll be back. All right, we are back. Back. Excuse me. All right. All right, so let's focus on the log. The log. Okay. Children. Whale. Guess we're gonna have to do a little bit more work in here. No. We'll go ahead and try to map it. I think we're gonna need the starting bid. Okay, so if the starting bid is north, everything just proceeds as normal. So just for right now, I'm going to pretend the starting bid is always north because that is easier. And for each bid, we need to have a board bid input. Now for this, I kind of feel like I should go ahead and make a new component. We'll call it a log entry. We'll ignore all this extra styling we have. We'll get to that. Not using direction currently. We'll get to that. Okay, so for each bid, each bid is actually a direction and a bid. Don't really care for that terminology, but we're just going to go with it. So we have a bid and a direction. I'm going to make the key also equal to the bid because they each should be unique. And then that is, I believe, our bid log. It's just a series of log entries. Okay. So that's our log. Okay, so now our board's actually going to be a little bit different. So instead of children, we can now actually just import the container log directly. So it's okay for components to include containers. They don't care that they happen to be connected components. We're just defining layout.
Pay a tutor, a painter, a Zach, or a Jack. Send money knowing the banks have your back.
The new way to... This is how money moves. More info at zellpay.com.
Okay. Eventually we'll be importing the connected container board, but for now we're going to export this dumb version. The connected one will be able to do things like hide itself and show itself. For now it's always going to be up. Yeah. So import board from see what that does. still not getting our reducer set up correctly. And that is because in our index we're not including the reducer. So we actually need to just import it, which will then add it to the store. Okay, we're getting closer. Let's see. What is the issue? Oh, well, there we go. Okay, this is starting to look a little bit better. I kind of want this to be, I want both of these to be extending up, and they're not. And we have a little bit more to add to this, which is going to push the south down. So that will be fine. Okay, so let's try adding some bids and see what happens. So we'll go to app.js and we'll dispatch a bidding actions place bid direction north bid pass. Oh yeah. Might make it look good. We'll have to probably make that a little better. Alright, so we'll add some more bids. So far so good. And south finally has some cojones. Keep going with this. I can live with it. That looks pretty good, actually. Could be a little bit shorter over here. A little bit too much margin on this side. But that's totally fine. I don't care. I don't really care that much. So let's try and add buttons and see if I can start clicking on them and get this to update all on its own. That would be pretty slick. Okay, so we need to take a look at input.js, perhaps. I think instead of just having, I think we might just go ahead and define all of the children and then write a click handler that can determine which button was pressed. And then a callback where we can use to actually call our actions. So let's take a look at what these might look like. Look something like this. Not gonna worry about this right now. Just not gonna worry about it. looks nice, but we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so I should just go ahead and write a function to generate this. Helpers. Actually, I have this. Okay, so we're going to go through not 0 to 7, 1 to 7, and then for each suit we will push a new log entry with, wait, not a new log, that's the wrong place. We're going to push a little bit of React. It'll be this business right here. And then this guy is going to be a template string of, let's see, tricks and suit. And then turn memo, pass in memo. And that should go through 1 through 7 for each suit in suit order. And we're going to literally just be injecting it in. So I think we can get rid of that and see what happens. We're not showing it anywhere. Gotta get rid of you. In fact, this is eventually going to be a callback. We'll just call it that for now. So now we actually need to add this to the board. Yeah. Import input. Still a component. So we'll do that. This will eventually change to a container, but for now we're just trying to see if we can see it. And then we'll take the input and put it below the log. And get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. Okay, so we have some CSS errors that I didn't see before. So in board input, input.css, it doesn't, oh yeah, oh, there we go. Can't resolve helpers and bidding components. One, 2, 3. We need one more. And that's in input.js. Okay, and now we have an error. Memo is undefined. It really shouldn't be undefined, but let's see. So reduce and reduce. Previous current. I really feel like it should be fine, but we're just going to check. Alright, and we're going to see what range. Yep, so we get a range, we get a reduce, we have, oh yeah, of course, we need to, here, return memo. It'll be fine. Take all those off. Hey, look at that. There we go. We've got bidding buttons. Clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades, no trump. Going all the way down to only 6 no. Why? 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 Well, apparently changing it to an 8 worked. I'll take it. Alright, so now we have bids. They don't do anything, obviously, and they're selectable. I don't really like that. What do they look like if I turn them into a button? Yeah. Oh, gross. They look terrible. Text select none is probably what we need. I thought that was a thing. Text select. Text. User select. Why not? Perfect. Now I also want to get rid of that pointer. What is it, like pointer or something? Text decoration none. Sure, I'll take that. Nope. Me no like. Because I didn't look at the answer. Derp, derp, derp. Oh yeah, I like it. Okay. So now okay, so it looks pretty good up until this point, which is, that's fine. I mean, I think with a little bit more CSS work, we could squeeze this down even more and let the board, but you know, there's going to be a limit, you know, right around here where the screen just can't really get any thinner than that. And then I still don't know why East and West are down here. I kind of feel like that might be in play